We begin with the president's final State of the Union address, making the case that he honored the progress made on his watch, addressing key issues like curing cancer, climate change, education. But priority number one, protecting the American people against terror networks and turning an eye towards the future of the country and the future of the White House. Here's ABC's David Wright.
The President of the United States.
The next time we hear the Sergeant-at-Arms make that familiar announcement, a different president will be walking into the chamber and glad-handing his way down the aisle. Tonight was Barack Obama's last State of the Union, his parting shot. At this point, he's playing for the history books.
We live in a time of extraordinary change. Change that's reshaping the way we live, the way we work, our planet, our place in the world.
That word, change, which served as the mantra for candidate Barack Obama's election all those years ago, tonight took on a different meaning, shaded by 7 years of compromises, disappointments, and unintended consequences. The office and its responsibilities have changed the man, visibly, as it always does. Tonight, as President Barack Obama framed it, change can be good or bad.
It's change that can broaden opportunity or widen inequality.
The White House had billed this speech as a different sort of State of the Union, not so much a laundry list of proposals, but a plea to fix America's broken politics.
The future we want, all of us want, opportunity and security for our families, a rising standard of living, a sustainable, peaceful planet for our kids. All that is within our reach.
Tonight there was one big-ticket agenda item in the traditional sense, a vow to cure cancer, even nominating a new cancer czar.
And because he's gone to the mat for all of us on so many issues over the past 40 years, I'm putting Joe in charge of mission control.
But other Obama agenda items were notably absent. 1 week after he was in tears on the issue of gun violence.
Every time I think about those kids, it gets me mad.
Tonight, Obama sent a silent message, an empty chair in the First Lady's box for the victims of gun violence. Also not mentioned, the seizure of 2 U.S. Navy patrol boats and their crews by Iran. But overall, Obama didn't rub salt in the Republican wounds. He pleaded for unity.
So I hope we can work together this year on some bipartisan priorities.
Tonight, the president also highlighted the plight of refugees, especially the millions fleeing ISIS and the civil war in Syria, insisting America is not embroiled in World War III.
That is the story ISIL wants to tell. That's the kind of propaganda they use to recruit. We don't need to build them up to show that we're serious.
Obama insisted America,
let me tell you something,
is not in retreat.
The United States of America is the most powerful nation on earth. Period. Period. It's not even close.
Tonight, the State of the Union may be sound, but the state of our politics is more like that Capitol dome, shrouded in scaffolding, a hard-hat zone full of dangers. Looming over tonight's proceedings, the open question, who will be giving the State of the Union next year, leading the debate moving forward?
I'm going to try to make it a little shorter. I know some of you are antsy to get back to Iowa.
2 of the hopefuls were there in the chamber tonight. On the Republican side, Senator Marco Rubio. For the Democrats, Senator Bernie Sanders. Their colleague, Senator Ted Cruz, declined his invitation, too busy out campaigning in New Hampshire.
The state of Washington, on the other hand, is a manifest disaster.
Donald Trump wasn't invited tonight, but as he campaigned out in Iowa, that didn't seem to bother him. The tumultuous Republican race is a worry not just for the Democrats, but also for the senior Republican inside the chamber, sitting beside the vice president for the first time. Earlier today, Speaker Paul Ryan urged citizens to tune in for the Republican response.
If people want to hear from a leader who has brought people together, if people want to hear from a leader who has gotten things done, who has set a bold agenda, then they should tune in and watch Governor Nikki Haley deliver the Republican address this evening.
Tonight, Governor Haley distanced herself from the president, but also from some of the candidates in her own party.
During anxious times, it can be tempting to follow the siren call of the angriest voices. We must resist that temptation. No one who is willing to work hard, abide by our laws, and love our traditions should ever feel unwelcome in this country.
Among the Democrats, huge uncertainty. Senator Bernie Sanders there in the chamber as new polls show him pulling ahead of Hillary Clinton.
It could be that the inevitable candidate for the Democratic nomination may not be so inevitable today.
With less than a month to go before the first votes are cast, Clinton once again finds herself on the defensive. Tonight, she was on CNN dismissing the polls.
I don't pay any attention to this. I don't feel that it's a good reflection about who will actually come out on caucus night.
Tomorrow, she'll be out on the campaign trail again. Vice President Biden may wish he were out there, too. His grief over his son cost him his chance to toss his hat in the ring one more time. Tonight was his last State of the Union with front row seats. For Obama, too, a sense of wistfulness tonight, a pang of sorrow at what might have been.
I believe in change because I believe in you.
That soaring rhetoric got him there in the first place. But has he delivered on all that he promised? How will history judge him? That's still up for grabs.
The president likes to use the metaphor that there's still a lot on the table, and he's playing the long game. And I think tonight the president showed that he still has a couple of more innings left.
He came in saying that he wanted to solve the division in the country, and he comes away from his presidency with the country more divided and more discord.
God bless the United States of America.
President Obama himself will spend the next year fighting for his bucket list. The rest of us will now be focused in earnest on where we go next. I'm David Wright for Nightline in New York.